Buzz, welcome back to the channel where we don't just drop the news, we dive into it, dissect it, and discuss it with all of you, the amazing K-pop community. And today, oh wow, we've got some major things to unpack because just as armies around the world were celebrating a long-awaited milestone, Suga's military discharge and the complete return of BTS, something unexpected hit the headlines. A petition, and not just any petition, one that is stirring up a lot of emotion and serious conversation online. So here's what went down. On June 23rd, a petition was posted on the KBS viewer petition bulletin board. The title, Request for Sanction on Restriction of Appearance on KBS regarding Suga's DUI. Yes, someone is formally asking KBS to consider restricting Suga from appearing on their programs because of a past DUI incident involving an electric scooter. This petition is gaining traction fast, and the wording, it's intense. The petitioner argues that because Suga is such a massive public figure, especially with influence over young people, allowing him to appear on TV after a DUI might send the wrong message, or reduce public awareness of how serious drunk driving actually is. Now, to be clear, this DUI happened last year. It involved an electric scooter, and his blood alcohol level was reportedly at the level where his license could have been revoked. In response, he was fined 15 million Korean won, which is about 11,000 USD, and that case, it's closed. The fine was finalized in September 2024, so legally, it's done. But the court of public opinion, that's where this new drama is happening. Here's where it gets tricky. KBS, as a public broadcaster, has a history of suspending celebrities involved in legal controversies. Actor Kwak Do-won, the late Kim Se-ron, and Kim Ho-jung have all been suspended temporarily due to drunk driving in the past. So the petitioner is basically saying, hey, if they were suspended, why is Suga not being reviewed by the Broadcast Ethics Committee? Now, I want to pause here and ask you all, what do you think about this? Should public figures face broadcasting restrictions for legal infractions that are already settled by law? Or should we consider factors like context, accountability, and time passed? Because here's my take. First of all, drunk driving is no joke, whether it's a car or a scooter. The potential danger is real, and public figures do carry extra responsibility because their actions can influence millions. But, and this is important, Suga accepted the legal consequences. He paid the fine. He didn't try to hide it. He completed his military service with no special treatment. So if the law has ruled and the punishment has been served, should we keep punishing him on a public level forever? Also, let's remember the timing of this. Suga was just discharged on June 21st. That means all 7 BTS members are finally done with military service. For armies, that's a huge moment. We've been waiting years for this. So to have that joy immediately tangled up in controversy, it stings. It honestly feels like people are looking for a way to bring negativity into what should be a moment of celebration and unity for the fandom. And let's not act like BTS hasn't been held to impossibly high standards for over a decade. They've been role models, trailblazers, ambassadors of Korean culture, and sometimes even punching bags for every little thing they do. I'm not saying celebrities should be untouchable, but I am saying we need to talk about grace, growth, and accountability with more nuance. Plus, real talk, if KBS starts reviewing Suga for this, are they doing it because of public pressure? Or because they genuinely believe it's a necessary response? Because if it's just to save face, that raises even more questions about how broadcasting ethics are being applied. And you know what else this reveals? The moment BTS shows any sign of comeback, the microscope gets turned up to max power. It's almost like people are waiting to stir something up just to test how strong BTS still is. But here's the thing, they've survived worse, way worse. And with all 7 finally back, this may just strengthen their bond and their determination even more. But let's bring this to the comments. Should KBS review Suga's eligibility to appear on broadcasts, or should they recognize that the legal system has already handled it and move forward? How do you personally feel about seeing Suga on stage or on TV now that he's back? And of course, let's not forget the big picture. BTS is complete again, 7 together. Just saying, that gives me chills. Comebacks, concerts, group albums, everything is on the table now. So while this petition is serious and deserves attention, I think it's also important we don't lose sight of the moment we've been waiting for as fans. The boys are back and the world is watching. And as if the BTS spotlight wasn't already burning bright, with the full group officially back together, one member in particular found himself trending worldwide once again, but this time, not just for his music or chart-topping achievements. We're talking about JHOPE. who just landed in Paris for Fashion Week and somehow triggered an online storm over something as simple as walking out of a building. Yeah, I know, let's unpack this. So here's what happened. On June 22nd, J-Hope shared an Instagram story letting fans know he was heading to Paris for the Louis Vuitton show. As a global ambassador, this wasn't exactly shocking news. Everyone expected him to show up looking sharp and serving visuals. He arrived in Paris on the 23rd and didn't waste a minute. He went straight to business, showing up at the Louis Vuitton headquarters in full LV drip, and as expected, he had fans, press, and photographers all waiting for him. But here's where things took a turn. A video started circulating online of J-Hope leaving the LVHQ, surrounded by security, flashing his jewelry and confidently posing for the cameras. Now to me, that sounds like standard ambassador behavior. The man is at Paris Fashion Week. This is literally what he's supposed to do: show up, look incredible, represent the brand, and give the cameras what they came for. But not everyone saw it that way. The clip quickly went viral and suddenly people were accusing J-Hope of copying G-Dragon. Yep. People are saying his body language, especially keeping his head slightly down while walking through the crowd, reminded them of G-Dragon's signature mannerism. G-Dragon, by the way, is known for often lowering his head in public, which fans have explained is related to his social anxiety. So now the internet's buzzing with claims that J-Hope is imitating him on purpose. And honestly, I think that's reaching like hard. Let's get real here. Walking with your head lowered in a crowd while surrounded by flashing cameras and security? That's not a G-Dragon exclusive trait. That's just a normal human reaction to chaos. If you've ever been in a crowded airport or chased by fans and press, you'd probably do the exact same thing. Plus, J-Hope wasn't hunched or shy. He was posing, confident, in full control. That's not imitation. That's professionalism. What bothers me is how quick people are to stir up this kind of idol versus idol narrative, especially when it comes to icons like G-Dragon and J-Hope. Like, these are two legends in their own right. G-Dragon redefined the fashion and music game in his own era. J-Hope is now doing the same in his. We should be celebrating both instead of pitting them against each other over something as small as posture. And let's not forget, J-Hope has been building his solo identity for years now. From his experimental tracks like Arson and more, to the streetwear-inspired vibe of Jack in the Box, and now his high-fashion presence at global events. He's not copying anyone. He's carving his own lane. That's not imitation. That's evolution. I think sometimes people forget how nuanced inspiration and coincidence can be. Yes, J-Hope and G-Dragon are both icons in the fashion world. Yes, they've both worked with top designers. But that doesn't mean one is constantly looking over the other's shoulder, trying to mimic their every move. J-Hope has his own brand, his own style, his own energy, and honestly, why does it always have to be either or? Why can't we appreciate both of them without tearing one down? G-Dragon set the stage. J-Hope is now owning it in his own way. That's how legacies work. They build on each other. What I do love is how armies came to J-Hope's defense immediately, not with hate or drama, but with pride. Fans were pointing out his growth, his artistic choices, and how he's consistently elevating himself without ever dragging anyone else down. And that's the energy we need more of. So I'm throwing the question over to you. Do you think these criticisms hold any weight? Or is this just another case of the internet doing what it does best? Looking too hard for drama? And bigger question, what do you think of J-Hope's evolution as a solo icon from the studio to the runway? Is he becoming one of K-pop's most versatile stars? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Share your thoughts, your favorite J-Hope fashion moment, or even your hopes for his next musical chapter now that he's back and glowing like never before. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to keep up with all the latest K-pop news, deep dives, and conversations that go beyond the headlines, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything coming up. This has been Unyong Buzz, your go-to spot for all things K-pop with a side of real talk. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay buzzing and stay kind. Unyong.